In Dreamquil, set in a not-so-distant future where poor air quality leads people living mostly virtual lives. Carol, played by Elizabeth Banks, is a dissatisfied career mother, struggling to find connection with her marriage to Gary, played by John C. Reilly, and her child. With the day-to-day familiarity of their home and lives feeling increasingly claustrophobic and worried she could be soon headed for divorce, Carol leaps at the chance to get her life back on track by signing up for the Dreamquil, an avant-garde digital wellness retreat. When Carol returns home, however, she discovers her family has been living with Carol number 2, a robot companion designed to help in her absence, and things take a mysterious and sinister turn. Dreamquil is directed by Alex Prager, and this film is her directorial debut, and she has a history in short films and photography, and her distinct style over the years really shows in this film. This film has a really colorful and really distinct look about it. Dreamquil just debuted at the 2026 South by Southwest Film Festival. What did I just watch? This film is quite crazy. I think this film is going to be a little bit divisive, but if you can jump on the film's wavelength, I think you're going to enjoy it. It kind of comes across as a sort of a extended episode of like Black Mirror or Twilight Zone, is that type of film. But by the time the credits come up, it's only about 1 hour and 15 minutes. So it's a short ride, and I think it's definitely one that you should take. The first 20 minutes or so of the film, for me, are a little bit shaky. I didn't really like the style of this home life with Elizabeth Banks and John C. Reilly and their kid, played by Toby Larson. Like, the kid is the style, like it's going for this like 1950s soapy melodrama type atmosphere, and just it takes a while for the story to get going. And the kid, played by Toby Larson, is like, "Hey mom, can I have some breakfast?" And he talks like a very, I think that's intentional, very showy type of way. Elizabeth Banks and John C. Reilly, they're a married couple, and they live in this kind of like futuristic world where outside the air quality, sometimes the camera will go outside, the air quality is very misty, you can't really see anything, and if you go outside you have to wear like a mask. And I think the government at the time is trying to fix this situation. About the moment, everybody has to stay home and live their lives virtually, so they have to work from home. And John C. Reilly, he's a teacher, and sometimes you see on his computer screen, he's like teaching like 9 or 10 kids in his office. And Elizabeth Banks works in the office, and she's just up for a promotion. But her marriage life to John C. Reilly has gotten a little bit stale. Like, she tries to wear like sexy dresses and tries to ignite the romance with her husband, but John C. Reilly for some reason doesn't seem to be very interested at the moment. John C. Reilly is not very happy in the marriage as well, and she tells his wife Elizabeth Banks that, and she keeps getting like these spam advertisements about this Dreamquil retreat where she can like revitalize her life, and she thinks it's kind of like some kind of like spam or scam, but she gets one of her friends, played by Sophia Botella, does this routine and recommends, "Oh, you should do it, definitely do it. It really changed my life and my marriage." So about 20 minutes into the film, Elizabeth Banks says, "I'm going to go to this retreat for about a week and come back a whole new person, and I'm going to be really invested in this family." And it's when she comes back from this retreat is when this film really picks up and it gets really very interesting. When Elizabeth Banks comes back from this retreat, the company has sent a robot to help around the house with like household chores. But when she comes back from the retreat, this robot is a doppelganger for Elizabeth Banks, looks exactly like her, but she's just wearing like a different color dress. So Elizabeth Banks plays several roles in this film. She plays Carol, and she plays this robot who kind of like moves around like this and is very helpful, but John C. Reilly and the kid have really taken a shine into this robot, and they kind of like prefer this robot to their mother Carol. At first, Elizabeth Banks kind of likes this robot because she has more time for herself, because this robot is very efficient and doing a lot of the household chores. So at first she kind of likes this robot, but very quickly this robot takes it. Like, I think she gets jealous of this attention that this robot gets, and this robot starts to act up and starts sexually coming on to John C. Reilly, and as the film goes on, there's some very quite hilarious scenes where Elizabeth Banks starts attacking the robot, and there's a particularly one fight scene in the kitchen that really made me start laughing. I really think this film is not really supposed to be taken very seriously. So if you can kind of take this film as a kind of like a comedy thriller, like black comedy, then I think you're really gonna dig this film. I won't spoil all the twists and turns that come in the third act of the film, but this robot may or may not be real, and this whole scenario where she comes back from this retreat may or might not be real. So there's some more twists and turns in the third half of the film. But I think the main reason this film works is definitely Elizabeth Banks. She's really very game to jump into any scenario in this film, and she plays several characters in this film, and it just, especially as Carol, the mother and wife, she just gives a whole wide range of performance. She's funny, she's like conniving, she really is able to really give her whole really sensual role, and she just really gives a wide-ranging role in this film. She really has to tackle several characters in this film, and she's really, I think, the main standout in this film, and the main reason to see this film. I'll just give a shout out to the set design and the cinematography in this film is fantastic. Because most of the film, maybe 90% of the film, is set in their apartment, and it's every room is full of colors, and the furniture and the walls and everything is just different color and different design, and you really see the director's history in photography and art. So it really comes through a lot in this film. I give Dreamquil 3.5 stars out of 5. The film gets off to a little bit of a rocky start, but if you can stick with the film, after about 20 minutes, it gets into a really twisty thriller, black comedy type film that's quite entertaining, and it comes across as a kind of a Black Mirror, Twilight Zone type film, and it has a really fantastic standout performance from Elizabeth Banks, playing several characters in this film. So she's definitely one of the reasons to check out this film. So I definitely recommend Dreamquil. It's quite a crazy ride. Thanks for watching. What did you think of Dreamquil? Please comment below what you thought of the film. See you next time. Bye.